Danny here, welcome back to my channel. Thank you for watching. Today I'm going to go ahead and talk about Venom, Let There Be Carnage. I got out of the movie theater not too long ago. I do want to start off by saying I'm going to do my best not to talk about too many spoilers as I'm talking about the movie. However, when I do get to the end credit scene, I do want to talk a little bit specifics about that. So when I get to that point, if you want to drop off and then come back after you've seen the movie, by all means, feel free to do so. Another thing I do want to mention is that the first Venom movie, I was not a huge fan of. The only thing that I really liked about that movie was how the relationship between the symbiote and Tom Hardy played off. Tom Hardy did a great job. I don't think it was his best performance by any means, but he kept the movie going. But everything else about that movie was a little bit of a mess. So I kind of wanted to start this video by setting that up. So let me just start by saying Venom, Let There Be Carnage was a pretty good movie. It was definitely an improvement to the first movie. It was very fast-paced. It really helped the movie that the runtime was only 97 minutes, something around that number. It wasn't too long. It was very straightforward. It had a pretty good story. But one thing I do want to mention is that because these Venom movies have not included Spider-Man and doesn't include the origin story that we're familiar with from the comics, you see that they have to kind of add a few things to it, just to humanize the story a little bit more, especially the relationship between Eddie and Venom. And it's pretty cool because they kind of play off sort of like the Odd Couple, which is pretty hilarious. They were able to pull off some really funny moments. Venom needs Eddie, Eddie needs Venom, and that's pretty much it. But they do get to a point in the story where they just butt heads and they're just both very stubborn, but they're the better selves when they're together. And it was really cool the way they portrayed that in the story. Woody Harrelson was phenomenal. I thought he was great as Cletus Cassidy. He played Carnage very well. The way Carnage was portrayed in the movie was a little different than again, what I'm familiar with the comic books, but it still worked. It worked because of the context of the movie and because you're not getting a panel-to-screen adaptation of the story from the comic books. I highly recommend checking it out. If you like the first movie, you're definitely gonna like this one. If you were like me where you didn't like the movie, you still thought that Tom Hardy was great in the role, you'll enjoy it quite a bit. You might just not love it. If you didn't like the first movie at all, you didn't like anything about Tom Hardy's portrayal of Eddie Brock, you might not like this one. It is still an improvement from the first movie, but it's definitely worth a watch. I have to give props to Andy Serkis. I'm a huge fan of his, and I've been following his work from, you know, Gollum in the Lord of the Rings, and everything that I've seen him in, it was great, and the special effects are great. Andy Serkis just knows his way around CGI and motion capture performance, and that definitely plays through in this movie. So great job to him. He did awesome, and I hope he keeps on making movies. I hope he comes back for a third Venom movie, especially the way this movie ended and the end credit scenes. But before I get to the end credit scenes, let me tell you a little bit more about how the movie played out and some of the characters that we got. It did set up a future symbiote, or maybe two, depending on how things turn out. The movie was PG-13, but there was quite a bit of murder, madness, and mayhem, and the title was fitting for this movie. There was a bit of carnage. Surprisingly enough, they were able to get away with the violence because there was no blood. You didn't need an R rating for this movie. I think, you know, considering you have two CGI characters just fighting one another, going back and forth, it's very fantastical. So it was pretty cool. I really dug the movie. I don't know if I'll go watch a second or third time. I would just wait until it's on demand, or I can watch it on Netflix. Netflix and Sony made a deal, so this movie will be making its way to Netflix, so I'll probably watch it again later at that time. But I recommend it. Go check it out. Going to the movies to watch those movies is going to be a great fun time, especially if you go with friends or family. It's just going to be fun. You're going to enjoy it. You're going to laugh. You're definitely going to laugh. This movie had a lot of funny moments. And like I said, Tom Hardy was awesome. Having Woody Harrelson like totally brought it to that next level because he was just great. And I hope we can see him portray Carnage again. That's pretty much my thoughts on the movie itself. Now, talking about the end credit, if you don't want to know anything about the end credit scene or mid-credit scene, because it was like right after the initial credit roll, now's your time. Go check the movie out or just watch if you don't care about spoilers. But here we go. So the way the movie ended, you had Eddie and Venom just leave San Francisco. They just needed a new place to go. They were being sought after by the cops. They're lethal protectors, right? And they make it a point to announce that, which was really cool at the end of the movie. Venom, the lethal protector. That was awesome. So you see them, I don't know if they were in Hawaii or Brazil or it was somewhere tropical. But they were hanging out at the beach. They were just looking at the sunset. And, you know, Venom just wanted to see that. He had his little symbiote toes in the sand. The next scene, you're seeing a telenovela. Yeah, you heard me right, a telenovela. Eddie and Venom are watching a soap opera, a Spanish soap opera. All of a sudden, Venom starts talking to Eddie about the things that he's seen. Venom is saying, hey, you know, I've been around and I've seen lots of things. Your mind couldn't even comprehend the things that I've experienced. And, you know, Eddie's like, well, let me see. I mean, if you want to tell me, you want to share, great. So Venom at that moment decides, okay, I'm going to give you a glimpse of what my life used to be. But at that very moment, don't know what caused this. We probably haven't seen what caused this. But there's a change in the world, right? And they're like, wait, what was that? And they're not in the same room that they started off in. Different hotel room, much nicer than what they were initially in. But as they're kind of looking around, disoriented, like, where are we? You see the television still playing in the background, but instead of the telenovela, you see J.K. Simmons playing J. Jonah Jameson. And he is on the screen, on the news, talking about none other than Spider-Man being a criminal, being a murderer, and revealing that Spider-Man is none other than Peter Parker. Yes, you heard it. Not here first, but I'm sure there's a lot of other people talking about it. Yes, we get our first confirmation of a crossover between the Spider-Man Sony universe and the Marvel MCU universe. So we've seen the trailers for Spider-Man No Way Home. We kind of saw how that movie is gonna touch up on the multiverse. So whatever happened to Eddie and Venom has to do with the multiverse. I mean, it was almost as if it was a snap, it was a flash. Their worlds just kind of combined and came together. I don't know if that's what it was, but we're gonna have to wait and see. But it was so cool because Eddie and Venom just come to the screen and they're looking at Peter Parker in full Spider-Man outfit, and you know, Venom is salivating. He literally licks the screen when he sees Peter Parker and he hears that he's a criminal, because part of the ending of the movie was that Eddie made a bargain with Venom. He was like, listen, if you help me out, I'll let you eat all the criminals you want. Like, I will not keep you from that. I won't limit you to just chocolate and chicken, right? Because that was pretty much Venom's diet. And very funny scene. You have to just see it for yourself. It was just really cool seeing that moment. It was a short glimpse, but man, the hype level was through the roof. I mean, I know I was the loudest one at the theater, but everyone else was clapping and cheering. It was just such a great moment. And this is why it's fun going to the movies with people, right? Because you all get to enjoy the same thing. You have the fans watching something that you love yourself, and just the emotion, it was wild. It was awesome. So I was so happy I was able to experience that myself. So very legit mid-credit scene. Now, what does this mean for the future of the MCU, for the future of Peter Parker Spider-Man, and the future of Eddie Brock Venom? We'll have to wait and see. Spider-Man comes out on December 17th, so I'm pretty sure we're gonna see a cameo by Venom. I don't know how much in the movie he'll be in, but maybe it's an after credit scene as well. I don't know, but I'm looking so forward to it. We'll see in Doctor Strange, the Multiverse of Madness, how it connects to the Sony Marvel universe. There's a lot that they can do right now. I'm so happy that we're gonna finally get to see Tom Holland's Spider-Man interact with Tom Hardy's Venom. I think that's going to be great. I would love for Carnage to someday make an appearance, but we'll see if that ever happens. But this just confirms Vulture being in Morbius, all part of this multiverse storyline. So Morbius is coming out, I believe it's in January, so maybe we'll see some more of the multiverse shenanigans after Spider-Man No Way Home. So it's gonna be a fun time. I mean, it's so great to be a comic book fan, Spider-Man fan, just really watching how these comic book stories are being depicted on screen and live action. Very exciting stuff. This new phase of the MCU has been about the multiverse, right? Far From Home teased it. They spoke about the multiverse, but it was all a lie. It was Mysterio manipulating things. Up until this after credit scene, I could have sworn that the trailer for No Way Home was all a deception by Mysterio, maybe even breaking the fourth wall and tricking us as the fans. Because let me tell you, there were going to be a lot of disappointed people if there was no multiverse happening in No Way Home. We've seen, not just in Loki, but in WandaVision, in the What If show, the multiverse is in chaos, and little by little the multiverse is just going out of whack. What's gonna happen? I don't know. What part will Spider-Man play? What part will Venom play? I still say this is all going to lead to Avengers Secret Wars. It has to lead to that, because if it doesn't, it's going to be a little anticlimactic. We know that Kang the Conqueror is going to be the antagonist, probably leading up to through Avengers Secret Wars, if that is the plan. But there's a lot of more story to be told, a lot of story to watch. So as a fan, I'm hyped, I'm pumped, and I'm looking forward to whatever Marvel and Sony is cooking up. It's just gonna be a good old time. So I hope you're there with me. I hope you're just as excited as I am. So last pitch, go watch Venom, Let There Be Carnage. It was a good movie. It wasn't the greatest, but it was fun, it was entertaining, and lots of laugh. If you just want to laugh, watch the movie. You're gonna enjoy it. That's all I have for this video. If you have any questions, if you have any comments, any theories, feel free to share in the comments below. If you want to keep up to date with my content, subscribe, hit that notifications bell. Also, leave a thumbs up. That's always appreciated. And thank you so much for watching. Until next time, that is a wrap.